Salutations, people of the internet, welcome to the database. What's the first thing you think of when you hear the Versus series? Your mind goes to Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Or maybe your mind goes to that new Marvel fighting game developed by Arc System Works. Two of those answers are correct, that being Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and 3. But did you know that these two games weren't my first introduction to the Versus series? That's because my actual first introduction to Marvel vs. Capcom series of games goes back to 1995's Marvel Superheroes on the Sega Saturn. The Sega Saturn was initially my dad's old game console, and one of the main games in his collection that caught my attention was a fighting game with Marvel characters. You got Spider-Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thanos. I recognize these guys from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. How could this be? Believe it or not, Marvel Superheroes would arguably be the third game that is a joint production between Capcom and Marvel, as their first project working together dates back to the arcade beat-em-up game The Punisher, based on the comic book character of the same name. Later, after the success of the Punisher beat-em-up game, Capcom and Marvel would team up once more to create their first fighting game based on the characters of the X-Men, right around the popularity of the X-Men animated series on Fox Kids, titled X-Men, Children of the Atom, or X-Men Coda for short. With that game being a success and one secret guest appearance by Akuma later, Capcom figured it's time to expand the Marvel Comics library of characters by bringing in other superheroes and villains outside of the X-Men series, and that's where Marvel Superheroes came to be, as the game would be released in arcades on October 24th, 1995, and on the Sega Saturn 2 years later in October 2nd, 1997 in North America.
Web swing! Tornado pop! Hyper Starboard strike! Marvel Superheroes!
Loosely based on the Infinity Gauntlet comic storyline, it shows our favorite Marvel heroes and villains fighting one another to obtain the 6 Infinity Stones: reality, time, power, space, mind, and soul. You start out with one of the Infinity Stones, and as you work your way up the arcade ladder, you'll obtain the other 4 stones. The last Infinity Stone is held by the arcade ladder's final boss, Thanos, a purple mad titan who wields the Infinity Gauntlet, a gauntlet that lets him hold the power of all 6 Infinity Stones at once in order to take over the universe. Depending on who you played as during the arcade run, the ending of the story may vary, with the general ending being you defeating Thanos, unfreezing all the other Marvel characters in the background that have been turned into stone, and saving the universe. I'll save the character endings as a surprise for you to check out. The Infinity Stones that you hold during your battles also have unique benefits that can also aid you. The Soul Stone, being able to restore some of your HP. The Space Stone, giving you super armor, invulnerable to hit stun. Power and Time Stone being straightforward, as one gives you buff and strength and the other gives you super speed. The Reality Stone gives you elemental abilities to your attack, and the Mind Stone being able to generate meter for your super meter gauge, the gauge allowing you to perform your infinity combo. The roster size is small in this game, at least for the arcades and home ports. Some of the characters return from X-Men Coda, like Wolverine, Psylocke, Magneto, and the Juggernaut, while other Marvel characters make their debut in this game. We got most of the members of the Avengers, such as Iron Man, Hulk, and Captain America, and villains from other Marvel comic series, such as Shuma-Gorath from the Doctor Strange comics, and Blackheart from the Daredevil and Ghost Rider comics. The remaining characters in this game are bosses and secret playable characters, which are all easy to access thanks to the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection arcade classics. We got Dr. Doom, one of the Fantastic Four's notorious enemies who serves as a penultimate sub-boss for this game's arcade ladder. And then we have the final boss of this ladder and the main villain of the game, Thanos, the Mad Titan with the Infinity Gauntlet. In the arcade ladder, Thanos would steal all the Infinity Stones you gather up to this point to use against you. The only other character you can access in the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection version of Marvel Superheroes is not even a Marvel character at all. Instead, you can play as this little girl named Anita. She's a supporting character in the other Capcom Fighting series, Darkstalkers, where she is normally spotted as the background character for Donovan whenever he fights. She's the one character who is pretty broken in this game, as all of her attacks show off sprites from other Capcom characters. Not to mention she has one super that does hefty amount of damage even while blocking. You can die from chip damage. Yeah, she has every right to be banned in competitive play. The game borrows a lot of gameplay philosophies as X-Men Coda, and this being Capcom's second Marvel-based fighting game they developed. It's a 6-button fighter with light, medium, and heavy kicks and punches. At the start of the arcade ladder, you'll be gifted with an Infinity Stone. The power of the Infinity Stones can be activated by performing Fireball back and 3 punch buttons. In this game, combos are easy to perform as 2 light hit confirms and either a medium or heavy attack or special. If you don't know the fighting game lingo I'm using, why did you click on this video? You can even do air combos, attacking your opponent in mid-air. Characters have special inputs that let them launch their opponent in the air, also known as off the ground, OTG. Personally, I couldn't pull these off consistently, but when I do, it is very satisfying. You can also do guard cancel counters, known as infinity counters, after blocking an attack. Infinity counters essentially being the alpha counters from the Street Fighter Alpha series. Other basic maneuvers are also here, from tech hits that weave you out of grabs, tech rolls that roll you out of a corner, and air blocking. Some characters even have unique mobility options that are related to them, such as Captain America, who can double jump, while Iron Man, Magneto, and Dr. Doom can fly in mid-air for a few seconds. In addition, all characters can do an insta-high jump that is perfect for invading attacks and starting air combos. You notice I left one character in the lineup of characters you can play as in this game, because the AI for this Marvel character is a pain in the ass to deal with in the arcade ladder. I'm looking at you, Peter Parker. Spider-Man in this game, I don't know if he's top tier in this game, but damn it, he might as well be. Spider-Man likes to zone with his web balls. He has a command grab that stretches out almost full screen, and his DP or Dragon Punch is something I could not get past. I tried playing against this fight on the lowest difficulty, and even then, he still kicks my ass. I haven't played all the characters in this game, but I know there are a few characters that I enjoy playing as. One of them being Captain America, with his shield projectile being able to cover many options. Though be aware at time when he does lose his shield and was unable to catch it. His super in this game is very satisfying to watch.
Proton cannon. Final justice. Soldier.
Shuma-Gorath was a surprising character to pick from this game. Some of his moves are charge inputs, and the process of getting his super to work is also different. You activate his super, and Shuma-Gorath starts to flash. The key is to get up close to your opponent and grab them and... And if I just want to have a really good time, I don't mind picking Dr. Doom, even if his attacks seem overpowered compared to the normal roster. I mean, he is a boss character after all. My final ranking for Marvel Superheroes the fighting game is an A rank. While the roster may be small, it makes up for it by having each of the characters' playstyles feel unique from one another. No character feels the same unless you decide to play a mirror match with your buddies. Sure, Iron Man, Magneto, and Doctor Doom can fly, but they aren't the same, as Iron Man has his smart bombs, Magneto has magnetism, and Doctor Doom has a molecular shield that can protect his whole body and covers decent horizontal ground. Fans of the Marvel fighting games made by Capcom are free to continue playing their Ultimate Marvel 3, their Marvel vs. Capcom 2, or Maximilian Dudes, MVCI and beyond, but there is no replacing the feeling I have for Marvel Superheroes. It's the first Marvel fighting game I ever played. I do enjoy my time with all the games that I've listed, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's okay for people to like certain games that may appear out of the ordinary on a surface level, but it means well on a personal level. By all means, I am not good at this game or any fighting game in general. I'm nowhere near the levels of Justin Wong or Daigo or Arslan Nash. Instead, this game will always provide a fun time for me when I'm in the mood for a round or two. The characters I played the most in this game is Captain America, and I know for certain I lost a few times during the arcade ladder, and I'm somewhat aware that Captain America is not really top tier in this game, but I still have fun with it. The story of the Infinity Saga in this game feels like an afterthought, as its only purpose here was to create the premise of the fighting game. Hell, I still go back to the Infinity Saga of the MCU more than the current era of Marvel Studios. An afterthought, yes, but this game as a whole package is never forgotten. What are your thoughts on Marvel Superheroes? Who did you play as in this game? Should I cover more games like this one? Let me know in the comments. I'm Christopher James, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, who are you?
The milkman?
Do you have a sidekick?
No.
A nemesis?
A what?
A bad guy?
I'm a people person.
Have you been fighting crime long?
I don't fight crime.
What do you fight?
Wheat bones. A never-ending supply of milk. And chocolate milk.
Want strong bones? The calcium in milk helps make your bones strong.